Okay, Zendoo is the big deal, and this is why we're making it a big deal in this quarterly live stream. And Alberto's going to come join me here, and we're going to talk about what this thing is. We've had a lot of material already released on it, everything from white papers to blog posts to videos to actual tutorials, webinars. There's been a lot of conversation around Zendoo thus far. This is our first time presenting it to you here, the community, on a quarterly live stream. So we're going to go back and we're going to get to basics of what this thing is exactly. And why it's so important. So Alberto, if you would like to join me here, this would be great to have you on.
Yeah, sure, Rob. And yeah, it seems a long time ago, July, yeah? And a lot of things happened after that. But okay, what was Zendoo Beta release and what was included in there? So, okay, let's first split in two parts the Zendoo Beta release. The main chain side and the SDK side. So on the main chain side, we deployed all the changes that were needed for allowing a user, for example, to declare a new sidechain in main chain. So, and what do we mean for declaring? Declaring what are the parameters that are necessary for a main chain to interact with the sidechain. And then also on the main chain side, we allowed a user to send some money to the sidechain by performing a specific transaction that we introduced that, or better, a specific output that we call a forward transfer. So with this release, a user had the possibility to send some coins to the sidechain. But moreover, we introduced also all the logics that was necessary to receive from the sidechain the certificates that regularly allow user to withdraw coins from the sidechain itself. So we have this life of the sidechain that is divided in epochs. So we can think about some main chain blocks, and every epoch and every n blocks, the sidechain communicate to the main chain a certificate that contains the backward transfers that the user asked for in the sidechain. So this is a way for the sidechain to communicate back to the main chain what are the withdrawals that happen there. But one key point about the certificate is that is how main chain validate the correctness of the certificate, because one of the key elements of Zendoo is that the main chain doesn't know any rule of the sidechain. So you can construct any kind of sidechain without having the main chain knowing it. And also, we don't require any trusted party for validating or certifying the certificate. So this is a key element. This is a big differentiator from many other models that are out there. Why? Because in reality, we believe that a real blockchain, to be a true blockchain, should be decentralized. And so if you don't have a way for validating this transfer between the sidechain and the main chain in a decentralized way, even if you built your sidechain in a completely decentralized way, but then after, if you have a trusted party validating the transfers, I mean, you know, it seems totally useless.
So Alberto, you're actually as decentralized as your most centralized link, right? So
absolutely. And so, and for making it happen, we make use of snarks. So, as the Zendoo paper describes, we accept certificates validating them using snarks. So the Zendoo Beta release on the mainchain side already implemented the verification of the certificate by verifying the proof that was, let me say, passed along with the certificate itself, and validated with using the verification key, the snark verification key that was associated to the sidechain on the sidechain declaration transaction that we described previously. So this is a key element that was already part of the Zendoo Beta release that we had in July. So, and I mean, this gives a very rough idea about what was included there. Obviously, this included many other elements that, for example, checks for the main chain to be sure that the sidechain is not transferring more coins that he received, and these kind of things are obviously included in the beta release of the main chain. But now let's switch on the sidechain side, on the SDK side. So on the SDK side, and we call it SDK, but it's in reality it's much more than just an SDK. In reality, our sidechain SDK includes a full node implementation, a full sidechain node implementation. So, including a specific consensus that is called Latus, that is a modified Ouroboros-Prowse proof-of-stake consensus to manage this two-chain interaction. I mean, and when I mean two-chain interaction is main chain and sidechain interaction. So the sidechain is aware of what is happening on the main chain and react on what is happening on the main chain. And this also has implication on the consensus side. So we designed a specific consensus that is able to manage this in a very efficient way, and is based on proof of stake. So our sidechain SDK already implements all the things that are needed for having a sidechain node network running. So exchanging transactions, exchanging blocks, forging blocks, implements the basic transactions that are needed for two users to exchange coins each other. So already monitor main chain for including proof of forward transfers that happened in the main chain. So to be aware on the sidechain that a user sent some coins there. And also implement the sidechain SDK, all the needed components that are necessary for collecting the withdrawal requests in the sidechain. So a user that wants to withdraw some coins is able to perform a withdrawal request. These withdrawal requests are collected during the epoch, and at the end of the epoch, the certificate is built, all the backwards transfer are collected together, a proof is created, and later I will spend a few words about this kind of proof. And then the certificate is sent to main chain. So all this stuff, let me say, was already included in the sidechain SDK beta release. Why I was talking about the proof? Okay, the current version of the SDK create, let me say, a simplified proof that is not, let me say, reflecting the full Latus model, because the whole Latus model implies proving the whole history of the sidechain. So having a succinct proof that everything that happened in the sidechain, starting from the beginning of the epoch up to the end of this epoch, follow the sidechain rules in a way that implicitly, if we are also verifying backward transfers, implicitly we are verifying that the backward transfers that are declared in the main chain within the certificate follow the sidechain rules without knowing the sidechain rules. And this part is, I mean, the next part, but I will not go on and talk about things that we will cover in the next slides.